This is it, people. The actual last animatic we have. Special 4. The greatest gift. And what a gift it was. The name implies a Christmas special, and that's what it is. But that is really secondary to me. What's more important is Aloe, who seems to think of her brother at this stressful time. Before I get into it, I want to thank everyone who worked on the extra special version of this animatic to make it more colorful and bring it to life with better music. Not to worry, the original files are still in the torrent without our edits. And in general, thanks to everyone who has been watching these, and everyone who has been working behind the scenes to make this possible. But my god, this episode was a blast. I could start with the elephant in the room from the end of the episode, but let's keep that for now. First, I want to talk about the Bright House, which shows its sentience even more. It sensed the sadness in our main 6 when realizing that they would spend the holiday apart, and took it into its own magic. It's kind of patronizing, but in this case, it's exactly what Sunny needed. Getting everything together for this massive event. And seemingly the last event at the Bridlewood. Getting everyone to enjoy it one last time. It's nice to see everyone again. Haven and Alphabettle obviously. The couple is incredibly precious. But I'm more excited about Grandma Figgy. We see her way too little. I love hearing Aloe again. And seeing her be a menace on the vampire cast is a joy to behold. But next to all of the sweet family moments of our main cast, we have Aloe. Everyone is having fun, chasing her out of her cave. Of course she is pissed. I would be too if everyone was so reckless and almost killed me. But it does push her to move ahead with her plan to get the Nova Charm. This turns emotional for her really quick though. She misses her brother, definitely not lessened by the fact that she dreamed about him earlier. And seeing Zip and Pip together seems to be a traumatic trigger for her. The flashback is so interesting, remembering the good times with her brother. They also confirm that they are twins, and Altera calls her Allie, which is just precious. But all that cuteness aside, Aloe is basically having a panic attack, and finally snaps completely. We all know this was a long time coming. She was always very close to boiling over whenever she was around the ponies. But the amount of ponies here, combined with her trauma panic, caused a boom. And I mean it literally. She uses her powers to their full extent in the special. She was already scary, but this fight scene amplified that scare factor 100-fold. I can't decide who is scarier, Zinnia from the last special or Aloe here. They both have their own personal powers, and for Aloe, it's the sheer natural power she shows that's so attractive, I mean intimidating. She freezes over the entire Bridlewood just to start. She is even trying to be humorous, showing her descent into madness very well. She's basically just making hell freeze over. Just look at the giant laser ice beams she fires. It's seemingly random. She just wants to destroy and vent out her frustration. I know anger very well, and when someone reaches their breaking point like that, you better run. I'm sure Comet would tell you the same, cause he says that Aloe is doing it again, meaning he has seen this burst of anger before, presumably in Starlight Ridge. Izzy should have taken that advice instead of letting herself get captured. She even mentioned breaking the Nova Charm again. Definitely not helping with Aloe's anger. This is definitely the most terrifying scene. Basically getting frozen alive. One of the most terrifying deaths I can imagine. If Sunny didn't swoop in, she would definitely have been a goner. Though I'm not sure Sunny would have been able to defeat her. They struggled so much with Zinnia last special, and I doubt she has improved all that much. The Nova Charm definitely came in clutch here, to put a stop to the fighting. Even with the Nova Charm though, she had a hard time fending off Aloe's ice lasers and ice pillar attacks. It seems like she is even turning up the power again after seeing the object she desires. When they fly up into the eye of the storm that she created, it comes to the pinnacle of it, bombarding Sunny with ice boulders. I'd even say Sunny had lost at that point. First Zinnia beats them, and then Aloe. She really can't catch a break. Of course Cutie Mark Magic is the Deus Ex Machina again. I like this show, I really do, but that's getting too much. It's basically at a G4 level for that now. But it's at least used very creatively here, letting her take a look into Aloe's past. We already knew that Aloe had a reason for her anger and frustration, but now Sunny gets that revelation. We started loving Aloe because of that backstory, and having Sunny discover it activates her sympathy for someone she previously saw as a simple villain. A perfect display of how a proper reason can elevate a character past being just a villain. In the end, it's more of an emotional defeat than one based on strength. She gave up as soon as the look into her mind happened. She just needed someone to understand. And understand Sunny does, even giving up the Nova charm for her. This is the breaking point of a different kind for Aloe. Instead of the anger boiling over, it's the feeling of love for the first time since she got separated from her brother. It's a really nice redemption, tying up everything they have been trying to do with Aloe. The ponies have been trying to get her to open up for a while now, and this was the last push towards seeing her reason, and therefore having her see that she doesn't have to take what she needs, and can instead just ask. We of course have to talk about them reuniting. It's interesting, cause Izzy didn't actively open the portal. That just seems like something that the magic itself decided was the right thing to do. And I agree. Aloe opened herself up, and as a reward, her long-lost brother returns. I admit that it's a very Deus Ex Machina, but what else is new? It's a very sweet moment nonetheless, especially with them taking a second to process what's happening before coming together and embracing each other. I do have to say that Altero has an orange or red magic aura instead of Aloe's blue, which implies that he has a different kind of magic, presumably fire. Opening with blue fire, he has normal red fire. At least that's my assumption. This special really showed the beauty of family, especially siblings. As a twin myself, I really appreciate the representation, especially because it's not the cliché twins that look exactly the same that you see so much in modern media. But enough about them. Of course we have to talk about the Wishing Star and Twilight's return. That's right, she is back. This is the first of what would have been the return of a big chunk of the main cast of G4. It's really ironic to have this as the last official visual of G5. It started with the G4 heroes showing up at the start of the new generation, and it ends with Twilight stepping out of a spaceship, where she has presumably been for centuries. That's wild actually, having her in the Wishing Star, watching over everything. I'm wondering why she didn't come down sooner. Did the magic decide to send her down now? Did she decide it herself? If she decided herself, would she have been able to come down and help sooner? All questions that we will never get the answer to. There were many great plans for the future. Now it's our turn to be creative and imagine what could have been. So tell me, what do you think did Twilight do all this time up there? Did you enjoy the conclusion of Aloe's story arc? Let me know. Join my Discord if you want to discuss some more. Thanks to my supporters, especially to my Alicorn Tier supporters, Princess, who wants me to say, reunite the Star Scouts. And Solid Spectrum, whose message is, Pistachio's best pony. As well as Maverick. Until next time, Flibonis, Bonifellas, and bye.